ただ私の本丸はですね、最初の総裁選挙の時から訴えてきた給付付き税額控除です。これは中所得、低所得の方々にやはり社会保険料、これが一番重くのしかかっていて逆進性がありますから、これをなんとかしたい。でもそれまでの間ですね、給付付き税額控除、割と時間かかります、制度設計に。ですからその準備が整うまでに、なんとかこれ消費税についても加速させたいなという気持ちがあります。ですから国民会議で速やかに結論が得られるように努力をしたいと思っております。
続いて奈良3区付けを終了いたします。役員の皆様、マスコミの皆様、ありがとうございました。これより総裁はマスコミ各社のインタビューにお答え。
冷静はおりましたけれども、その時よりも我が国を取り巻く安保環境その他の評価が来ていただいてそれぞれの強みを生かして
In the history of Japan. Madam Prime Minister, please say a few words.
進みます。この横須賀から紡がれる。
And real quick, I know you just did a trade deal with India, but you wanted to mention Japan.
Yep. Well, Japan, the prime minister called a snap election, the quickest snap election in Japanese history. And boy, has she had a big victory today. She's going to have 2/3 majority in the upper house. President Trump endorsed her last week. She is a great ally, great relationship with the president. And when Japan is strong, the U.S. is strong in Asia.
Okay, we will leave it there. Of course, another partially China story there as Japan and the U.S. partner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a question, but I want to make sure it's right.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Rosneft and Lukoil, which was the major sanctions achievement, and dwarfs everything else, and has brought the Russians to the table for the talks that I was at last.
Japan has caught the Takaichi fever. On social media, videos of the country's first female prime minister get millions of views. Recent polling shows strong approval ratings. And unlike her recent predecessors, she's managed to tap into young voters, some who obsess over her handbag, shoes, even her stationery.
I use the same pen as Sana-chan. You see her working hard all the time. Her smile is so cute.
But while her charisma and star power are obvious, her policies as prime minister are less clear. In her short time in office, her vague economic agenda has rattled markets. And relations with the country's biggest economic partner, China, have soured since she made comments that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan could trigger a Japanese military response. She's done well in diplomacy, courting leaders from Italy, South Korea, the UK, and even the US President, Donald Trump.
Prime Minister in the history of...
Now she's turning that momentum into a high-stakes gamble, calling for a parliamentary election at a time when her long-ruling Conservative Party is deeply unpopular.
There are thousands of people here at this campaign rally to watch the Japanese Prime Minister speak. Sanae Takaichi has called for an election just 3 months into her job, and she says that if her party loses, she would step down as premier. But judging by the sheer number of people out here to support her, this is a political gamble that she thinks is going to pay off.
She's a drummer. I'm a rock and roll musician. Miss Takaichi is the same age as me, and when she became prime minister, seeing her work so hard made me feel like life was worth living.
We're in Nara Prefecture right now, which is where the Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi is from and where she started her political career. And we've traveled back to her hometown to meet some of her old friends and to understand why she's so popular among the Japanese public.
Osamu Kikuchi has known Takaichi for more than 30 years, in part thanks to this sports car.
She's a passionate person. That's why her car is red hot, too.
He fixed up her beloved Toyota Supra, a car that helps her image as a cool girl. Takaichi is clearly a local legend in Nara, and it's not hard to find traces of her here.
We've got some cookies here with Takaichi's face on them, and the British former Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady, Takaichi's role model. And here you have Takaichi with the US President, Donald Trump.
In the same neighborhood is Takaichi's district office. Here we meet her secretary of 16 years.
Why do you think she is so popular among the general public?
First, her consistent approach to policy, never wavering, steadfastly upholding what she says from start to finish. It's fundamentally sound. What particularly resonates with younger people is that she writes policies in her own words, making them easy to understand.
Do you think her comments on a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan were an accident, or do you think that was on purpose?
I do not consider it a gaffe. Naturally, it was simply a scenario. If Taiwan had warships, and if those ships were attacked, it would fall within a hypothetical assumption. Her response was fully consistent with previous answers.
Voters will soon decide whether her star power alone can revive her party, or if her meteoric rise will end as quickly as it began, leaving Japan at its most politically uncertain in years. Hannah Montgomery, CNN, Nara.
大家好，我是主播周玉琴。很多的朋友告诉我们，选择原版的太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌，它添加有羽衣甘蓝，健康再加分。而有睡眠困扰的朋友们，赶快选择蓝色包装这一款晚安加强版，绝对是更有感。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Good， 请上快点购为健康下单，而且要记得输入推荐代码，有额外的折扣优惠。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌基础版、晚安加强版，新包装改版，内容不变，抽取更方便。要吃就吃最好的。